Flying in the middle seat on a normal plane can be exhausting as you fight for the armrest and leg space from your fellow neighboring passengers. Commercial flights do get you from A to B, but that comes along with an uncomfortable, never-ending journey. Nobody really enjoys the journey of flying commercial. However, it is a completely different experience for people who own private jets. Private jets have comfy leather seats and even spacious sofa beds so you can actually get a good rest before you land where you need to. Private jets are very expensive, and this is why it is reserved for the extremely wealthy. But just buying the private jet isn't the only cost. Maintaining the private jet is extremely expensive. In this video, we will be going over the hidden costs of owning a private jet. Stay tuned as we look at some of the bizarre and surprising overhead costs when owning one. Before we begin, please subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon so you never miss a video from us. Cost of buying a private jet. First, let's talk about the cost of owning a private jet. The Cessna Citation XLS is the most common private jet in the world. The jet can seat 8 people and 4 crew members. Buying an updated Cessna will set you back around $14 million, which is crazy considering it is considered a mid-sized private jet. However, if you're looking for a more lavish private jet like the Gulfstream G650, it will cost you around $65 million. If you want to know more about the Gulfstream G650, check out our video, Inside Elon Musk's $70 million private jet. This is just the starting cost of owning the private jet, and it only goes higher from here. A jet needs a hangar when it's not in the air. Just like a car, a plane needs somewhere to be stored. Most people would prefer to not leave their multi-million-dollar aircraft out in the rain, and they find a storage hangar. The busier the airport, the more the hangar will cost. On average, hangar fees are around $81,000 annually. Busy airports like LAX and Los Angeles charge around $144,000 a year just to store your private jet. You need many kinds of insurance. When you own a private plane, you have to pay for insurance since it is a pretty dangerous way of travel. Hull insurance, which covers damages to the plane and its systems, costs around $34,000 per year. Single liability insurance is another fee the owner of the private jet needs to pay, which is an additional $12,500. Fuel costs. Fuel for your car is already expensive and adds up, but it is ramped up in magnitude when you own a private jet. Fuel is different for every plane, but on average costs around $53,000 per fill. The rules for filling up a plane is different because in some countries you're required to fuel up for your flight to your destination and extra in case you can't land at your final destination. The Cessna has a fuel tank of 7,200 liters or 1,900 gallons, which will cost you around $20,000 for a one-way trip from Havana to London. The cost of a flight crew. After you bought your expensive private jet, you need someone to fly it. If you have enough money to buy a private jet, I'm sure you don't want to pour your own drinks or carry your own suitcases, so you'll have to pay for flight attendants too. For a pilot, co-pilot, and 2 flight attendants, you'll be set back another $215,000 a year. You'll have to pay for overnight fees, lodging, and food for your staff, which will rack up the price even more. The crew will have your life in their hands, so it's better not to look for the cheapest option, but hire the best quality crew. A private jet pilot yearly salary is around $120,000, and the yearly salary for a private jet hostess is around $60,000. This can vary depending on how many staff you want to hire and can ramp up the cost if you wish to have more staff. You have to pay a de-icing fee. De-icing is very important for aircraft, and it is used to remove ice and snow from the aircraft. The cost of de-icing a plane can range from $1,000 to $10,000 depending on the size of the plane and the airport. If you decide not to de-ice your plane, get ready for a rocky ride because ice can build up which can cause the engine to stop working. Ice on the wings and tail can be fatal, so it's better to just pay up. A new windshield can cost up to $60,000 and $8,000 for new tires. You are liable for taxes each time you take off and land. Every time you use your private jet, you have to pay taxes. These taxes are imposed by the government and the airport, with many airports charging a tourist tax. You have to pay international head tax if you're flying from Miami to Rio, and that will cost $18 per person on board. You also have to pay $4.20 in domestic segment fees for every person on board. You even have to pay landing fees if you want to land your private plane. Landing fees vary by airport and the size and the weight of the aircraft. It usually costs around $100 to $500 to land the private jet. Sometimes these fees are waived off if the private jet is refueling at the airport. Cleaning fees for a private jet. Making sure your private jet is clean inside and out is very important. Just like your car needs a good clean from time to time, your private plane does too. However, it costs much more. Airports do this for you, or you can hire your own private team, but it usually costs hundreds of dollars and can cost more depending on the private jet. Owning a private jet isn't the only way to fly private. You can still fly private without actually owning a private jet. You can rent a small private jet for $2,000 to $3,000 an hour. However, the Gulfstream G650 will cost you around $13,000 per hour. It will cost around $90,000 for a one-way trip. How much does it cost to own a private jet? There are many factors affecting how much a private jet will cost you every year, but on average, it costs around $1.5 million to $3 million every year just to maintain the private aircraft. Of course, it can cost you a lot more if you decide to upgrade your private jet, and the sky's the limit when it comes to upgrade costs. Owning a private jet isn't for everyone, but if you fly regularly and you have money, why not invest in the utmost opulent way to travel? Would you own a private jet, or would you rather rent one when you need it? Did you know it costs millions every year to own a private plane? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe and turn on those post notifications. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.